Oop. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Mute everybody. Robbie's got himself muted, so Robbie.
Good evening, one and all.
There we go. How is everybody?
Good.
Good.
Good this morning, yeah.
Not too bad.
We just pulling the old video out we made a long time ago. I was looking at that going, might have to put everyone's name on that. Put the credits up. Right. See if I can. Right. Okay. I just got throwing up the tablet there as well, so we can see comments. Alrighty. So we'll do the same again, Robbie. You can once we get going, you can show the Roll20 page. Has anybody else got the Facebook up there? Does anybody else want to do the recap that I typed up, or shall I read it? Does somebody else want to read it? Robbie, do you want to read it today? You're still mute.
I'll leave that honor to you, John.
All right. Okay. Let me just go and find it. So, if it'll load. Of course, it's not loading. There it is. Okay. So here we go. Previously on Star Trek Cuchulain, Captain Frank was woken suddenly by something hitting the ship. Feels like weapons fire. As he battled with the down ship systems and multiple inoperative doors, one of which gave him a laceration, Frank made his way to the bridge, only to find it empty. Further below, Lieutenant Colonel Robbie woke up to a darkened room. Immediately, he dive-rolled, put on his uniform, grabbing his tricorder and his palm beacon, he made his way out of his quarters, also coming up against many inoperable doors. Making a swift, localized check on the ship systems on his personal terminal, he sees there are only 4 life signs on board. He heads for the Jefferies tubes and onto the bridge. On deck 5, Lieutenant Morgan and Lieutenant Antoinette find themselves without their roommates. After a bumpy exit from bed, Morgan rushes out to the common area, while Antoinette jury-rigs her door to stop slamming closed. They confront each other in their nightwear and swiftly return to put on their uniforms. Once they gain exit of their quarters, Morgan manages to get a comms line to Spec Ops lab, aided by Antoinette. Suddenly, a power surge erupts through the panel. Morgan, seeing the build-up, manages to pull Antoinette out of the way just in time. With new information on the situation from Commander East and Spec Ops, they rush for the Jefferies tube to climb to the bridge. After some missteps due to the ship being hit, Antoinette joins Captain Frank and Robbie on the bridge and takes up her station, followed soon after by a very exhausted Morgan. Robbie, at tactical, begins to return fire on the Klingon. Frank takes the helm, launching into evasive maneuvers. Antoinette and Morgan clean up the comms and get a better, clear signal to Commander East, who explains the Klingon bird of prey is commanded by a renegade Klingon named Cuchulain, and he isn't happy about something. With shields down to 70%, structural damage across all the ship, and the power system leaking plasma, the 4 crew members must survive the attack. Will they manage to contact the Klingon and convince him to step down his attack, or will this be a prelude to a new war with the Klingons? And that is where we sit right now. So we're all on the bridge. Robbie, if you can throw up the old roll 20.
It is ready and waiting for you.
Oh, there it is. Thank you so much. And a quick hello to Nikki, Andy, Mark, and Gillian, who have tuned in with us, which is brilliant. Thank you so much. Welcome along, and I hope you'll hopefully be able to join us for the whole of the run. Right. Okay. So everyone is on the bridge. Again, this is good. So just to recap, this is part 2. This is episode 2. You've just heard the recap of episode 1. Everyone's now on the bridge. This is a one-shot. So we've got the rules for Star Trek Adventures. Here is the big giant rule book. So as per last week, I am the GM. I'm telling the story. However, Robbie knows the rules a little bit better than me. So Robbie's going to be helping me out with what to roll and so forth. We roll, we have on roll 20, we're going to be using digital D20s. So we have digital D20s that we can roll. And then both myself and Robbie have the actual Star Trek dice for doing damage and so forth for those. And we also have a table of, there's a table in the book of 1 to 6 for the D6 for those who don't have it and have to roll digitally. Okay, so that is what's going on. Robbie, as we set up, I believe I made a note last week that I have 7 threat and the crew have 3 momentum.
Correcto.
All right. So, and for anybody just joining us, threat and momentum are kind of currency in the game that we use to gain bonuses for dice rolls. You can buy dice with these, and I can buy dice with the threat. The crew can also say that if they don't have any momentum, but they definitely want to succeed for that particular task, they can say add a threat to get it then to get good news then, but it could be bad news for them later. Okay, so that is it. Now, the last time we were. Robbie, do you have a copy of the current stats of the ship?
I do indeed.
Groovy.
Currently, we have 80%, 70% shields, and 1 breach on the engines. 1 breach on the engines. Now, one of the things that I did, I also got the starter pack, and with the starter pack, you can get there's a little quick rule sheet, which is great. So I read this through last night. And I made a cheat sheet for Starship rules, which I sent to everybody last night, and just so we can all understand the kind of the jeopardy that the ship is in. Inflicting when there's damage inflicted on a ship, we've got 1 breach, which means something is inoperable. 2 breaches means something is damaged and you can repair it. 3 breaches, which is the scale of our ship, or a scale 3 ship. Engines lose 1 power. If it's a damage to the engines lose 1 power per turn, cannot regenerate more power. Complications on your dice occur on 18 to 20, and repair difficulty is 4. For our ship on a scale 3 ship, 4 breaches is especially 4 or 3 plus breaches on the engines is a warp core breach, and there's special rules for warp core breach if that actually happens. All right, so the ship has 1 breach on the engines. Is this a game? Yes, Helen, it is a game. Yes, the guys are playing the game. They're rolling dice to figure out what's going on.
Do you want to play a game?
you want to play a game. So yes, so this is so for Helen, it's a role-playing game, Star Trek Adventures, and the guys, I have a game written, and the guys are going to play as if they're in Star Trek as best as they can, using their imaginations and what we have here for maps as regards to bridge locations and ship locations and stuff like that. So this is part 2 of a one shot. So because we have to finish today at in an hour and 45 minutes, so we must get this done for Antoinette, because she's got to go to work. So that's what we've got to get up to get the game going. Nikki goes, one day she's been off the ship, one bloody day. And the final thing to recap on is where anybody who wasn't watching last week, where's the rest of the crew? So the down in Spec Ops, and because the crew of the USS Cuchulain has 240 odd crew members on an 80 crew member ship, one of the special devices that we have as a science vessel is an interphasic generator. So when this Klingon decloaked and began the attack, one of the first hits hit the Spec Ops lab, and we got damage to the interphasic generator, which trapped the rest of the crew, besides the 4 that we have, and myself in Spec Ops, in a 0.004 variance side universe, because that's where we put everybody for sleeping and operating the crew with more space than we have. We're kind of phased out to the side by the variance, and that storyline comes from the episode of Next Generation Times Arrow. If you watch that, that's kind of the same thing. So the idea of the storyline of the interphasic generator comes from Times Arrow, Pegasus, and the next phase. So those are the Next Generation episodes that are referencing that. So that's where everyone else is. So we've got our 4 crew members on the bridge. Robbie had fired a volley. He'd actually managed to hit the Klingon and reduce the Klingon shields down by 2 points. We first did the first game we didn't quite use combat
rules correctly.
Combat rules correctly. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be using the combat rules today. So on this, and again, this whole game is about us learning Star Trek Adventures, which is the logos above Morgan's head over there. Yep. So today we're going to learn about starship combat. Last week we learned all about how to operate doors that didn't like you. This week we're going to learn how to operate a starship's weapons and engines. The other thing as well,
one character we learned how to operate a ladder, right, Morgan?
Yes.
So I have a pencil around here somewhere because I need to note things down. Okay, I'll find one in a sec. Right, so what are we doing? I suppose what we need to do, Robbie, is figure out initiative order. Isn't that right?
So from my bits of research, initiative in...
Oh, you have to roll. You have to roll reason and insight to research.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm kidding. Come on.
Unlike other tabletop RPGs, Star Trek Adventures is what is known in parlance as an isometric tabletop role-playing game. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons, for example, where you roll an initiative order and everybody moves in that order.
Yeah.
It is very much a case of, for starship combat specifically, each ship has a number of actions equal to its scale. In our case, we're scale 3. Yeah. So we have 3 actions, and the enemy ship has the number of actions equal to its scale, i.e. 3.
Right, yep.
So, generally speaking, when it comes to actions in a conflict situation in Star Trek Adventures, the players always go first, unless there is some overriding factor that the GM uses to change that. We've taken 1 action so far. 2, sorry. We've used evasive maneuvers and weapons fire. So we have 1 more action as the player.
Yep.
And then it's over to the Klingons. So, Antoinette or Morgan, it is down to you. Do either of you want to do something Vitsa Cuchulain.
Do you
Did
think
you have
we should?
something to say, Darren?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Should we try and contact? Like, should we try and hail the Klingon?
I was thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we haven't tried to hail him yet to find out why.
No,
or if he
sorry,
even wants us.
Now, if I remember rightly, Morgan, though, you're on the sensors console, aren't you?
Yeah, if I could hop across to the.
Oh, yeah.
The com.
Before you do, I will remind you, you do have an option available to you, which is to take an action, you can regenerate our shields. So at the moment, we're down to 70% shields. You could regenerate the shields if you want to do that for your action.
I'll certainly do that if it's possible from there. As I'm at the engineering station at the moment.
Yeah, he's at engineering. So you could access the shields from engineering.
Yep. So if you want to go ahead and roll a control in engineering,
Great.
difficulty is 1. And John, do you want to throw in any complications or?
Well, let me see here. No, you should be okay.
Cool.
There's no, we'll allow you this for this kind of, since we're just starting right now.
Okay, I've got pretty high on both of them, so I don't think I'll use the momentum on this. I'll just use my 2 dice.
Very good.
So it's 14 is my aim.
Cool.
Right.
And you're going to be assisted
success?
by the ship.
He's got 1 success, so he's good.
Yes, but the ship might give us 2, which gives us a momentum.
Ah, okay.
So structure and engineering, which is 9 and 4. Sorry, 8 and 4, which is 12 is the target number for the ship. Boop. Critical success.
Well
2
done.
momentum, boys.
Nice.
2 momentum. All right. So yeah, so that's 2 successes for the ship. So you've got a bank of 5 momentum right now.
Yep. So this
Lovely.
just serves as an example to show you how quickly you can generate momentum. So do not be afraid, guys, to start spending that momentum.
Yeah. All righty. So that's back to me, right?
Yep. Klingons, you got 3 actions.
Question as a newbie, how can you tell? Is there anywhere in the system that I can see just how many momentums I have? Like, is there anything that logs that you can look at?
Yeah, me and Robbie.
Oh, okay. So you guys are recording the So you guys have what everybody has as regards momentums now, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So the momentum is a shared pool. For anyone who's, again, new to the game or whatever the case may be, momentum is a shared pool of, for lack of a better word, additional initiative that the players have. And threat is a pool that the GM has, the game master has, as his version of additional momentum points. Common spends for momentum are us being allowed to buy ourselves an extra dice or 2 dice on our rolls. We can spend momentum to ask questions of the GM to see if we want to get some further information on our situation. We can spend momentum to create an advantage for one of our crewmates, or there are many different uses for momentum. But by far the most common one is creating an opportunity or buying an extra dice for your rolls.
And the cost of the dice is scalable. So the first dice is 1 momentum, the second dice is 2 momentum, and the third dice is 3 momentum. You can only roll the maximum of 5 dice for anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, any 5 d20s. Once it comes to damage, that's dictated by your ship.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. So Morgan, successfully you've regenerated the shields. So shields are back up, and don't forget that you do that due to a complication when Frank initiated the engines at the end of the last game, that there is 1 breach. So the engines are currently losing power. So the engines are down. But can you note this down, Robbie? So the engines are down to 7 power. Okay, and to restore that, it's a minor action by someone in the next round, next turn. Okay.
Cool.
Okie dokie. So that's the that's the Cuchulain on that. All right. So so the Klingon is outside. He's outside. Suddenly he's changing tactics because you've suddenly started to move. You were a sitting duck,
in the last game, and he was just happily flying loops around you, just shooting at you, or and then coming around, and then just sitting on the bow and just going, just hammering down with the shields. Christopher Lloyd,
not very honourable, is it?
Say that again, Morgan.
Not very honourable.
It's not very honourable. There's something wrong with him. So, but I mean, Krug did the same thing in Star Trek 3. So he's now flying his engines, and he comes around, but he's coming around for another pass, and he's going to launch. He's opening fire with his disruptor cannons. So for the commander to roll, for the commander to roll, it is for anyone to roll. It's control and security to do it, which is 12. All right. So that is one success for that for me, and so he fails that miserably. He does not get to fire his weapons as he comes around. So his crew decide to do something else, and he now engages his cloak.
Oh, tricksy little god!
And he goes. That will be. He fails to engage his cloak. Robbie's return volley has managed to disable his cloaking device for the moment. So as he attempts to cloak, you see on the sensors that it does that fading thing, but it doesn't work. It fades in and fades out, and you see like crackles of energy across his ship. So you've done something good to him, Robbie. But he flies close to. He almost skates over the bow of the Cuchulain. So he's flying over, and you're now both pointing the opposite directions to each other. Okay, so and so he's going to do, and then he's going to do a con maneuver to attempt to roll in place, and that is going to be, and he successfully does that. So what you've seen is he flies over the bow, but as he does, he turns off his flight assistant control, and he flips over, and he's now drifting backwards. So he's now, as he's turning, he's bringing his guns to bear, going backwards, aimed at the ship. But he's at the aft section of the Cuchulain. So the Cuchulain has rear phasers, but it doesn't have any rear torpedo launches. All 4 torpedo tubes are at the front of the Cuchulain. All right, so and then for anybody who's watching, here we have a little model of the Cuchulain, and we have a torpedo. This is a torpedo launcher, and this is a torpedo launcher, and then we have 2 down here as well. But there's none on the back. We've no aft torpedo launchers. All right, so
Tough little ship.
Tough little ship. So it's back to you guys. What are you guys up to? And you can communicate on the bridge.
Oh,
Captain, can I suggest we hail the king on vessel?
Before we do, can we put him in a tractor beam and just stop him dead in his tracks? He wants to try doing tricksy stuff, and I can stop him right now.
Yeah, I think we should actually try and put a hold on him, all right? Tractor beam will probably disable some of his offensive abilities.
So, Robbie, you're thinking of what Worf did with the Defiant and the 4 attack cruiser coming up behind him.
Pretty much. So, this is a control and security task with a difficulty of 2.
That's right.
It's going to be assisted by the ship's structure and engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So, first thing we're going to do is spend 1 momentum for an extra dice.
Momentum and extra dice.
Could I assist from the engineering panel since I'm there?
Technically, because I'm being assisted by the ship, no.
You don't need it. Grant.
You can only have 1 assist in addition. To be honest, with my control and security, it would be very hard for me to screw this up.
Cool.
He says, jinxing himself horribly.
Well, my Klingon did something disastrous to himself on his rolls, so
Here we go.
Like, look, I'm a fancy dancy Klingon.
So that's 2 successes for me. And I need the structure and engineering for the ship, which is 8 plus 4, which is 12. And 1 dice.
Hey.
3 successes. So I get that momentum back, and he ain't going nowhere.
All right, so you've locked on to the Klingon, and he's So you've trapped him. He's flying, but you've
Sorry, John, does that mean we're clinging on to the Klingon?
You're clinging on to the Klingon. So as he flips over and brings his weapons to bear, he decides to cut his engines and uses momentum to drift backwards so he can get a bearing on the ship. And Robbie just throws the tractor beam right on his nose. So you see the light of the torpedo and out of the tube coming up, and then suddenly the blue lights of the tractor beam just engage, and you hold him in place. Okay. All right, so well done, Robbie. You've got 2 more actions on the ship.
Let's establish communication. Now that we have them on hold, let's establish communications.
All right, so the opportunity for a bit of momentum there. Make a who's the communications? Antoinette, you're sitting on communications at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, why not? So.
Antoinette, you make a communications roll. What's that again, Robbie? There's a control and command and control.
Aiming frequencies open is a nothing required.
Nothing required. Okay.
Now you can,
So control.
if you want, Antoinette, you can use your action to override his comm system and force an open channel.
That would be a good idea. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it'll be a difficulty 1 task. I would say science and doesn't actually have a listing on it, but I would say, what do you think, John? Insight or reason?
To override, it would be either one. I'll allow you to choose the best score you have.
So science and insight or reason, Antoinette.
So 17 is my target.
Wow. So someone's good at this.
Yeah.
Someone's very good at this.
Hacker.
If you fail this, Antoinette, I'll be very surprised at you.
Many dice were rolled, just 1 dice, yeah?
2 minimum.
2 minimum.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, 2. Sorry, roll.
2 successes. Well done.
So you generate momentum.
Yeah, you override the Klingons' communication systems, and you patch your way through into his. You patch your way into his system, into his cameras and the systems on the bridge. And I wasn't expecting you to do this, but
Hey, John, welcome to running games with players.
yeah. Like, you did a thing. So up
Now,
on the view screen pops this chap.
Before we go any further, John,
Yeah.
I would like to spend a momentum and use the obtain information action.
Okie dokie.
So,
What are you looking for?
just want to know if this guy has popped up in any security briefings or any kind of, like, is he on any kind of advisories or flash traffic from command or?
Right. So what you've seen, what you pull up on this, and it's the Starship libraries about this guy is that this guy is quite old. He's like one of the eldest Klingons. He's got a very old noble house, and he's been around. Like, he's survived almost every battle that he's ever. Obviously, he's survived every battle that he's been into. But he's never run from anything. But since the alliance with the Federation, he's been not. It's not. The alliance hasn't been solidified just yet. But under Kimpek and the softer negotiations with the Federation, he's been very outspoken about this in the High Council. But after the explosion on the Klingon moon of Praxis, when the Klingons decided to start talking to the Federation, this guy has been a thorn in the High Council's side. He always rejects anything to do with the Federation. Because of this, he's fallen out of favor with the High Council. His house has been reduced, and he's less and less ships. And that's as much data as you can gather on the library computers on this guy.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Frank?
So now that we've established communication, let's just ask, what is the meaning of this attack?
Who is this human Patak that speaks to me without introduction? How dare you speak to me, you slime-ridden targ?
I'm the captain of the USS Cuchulain, and I want to know the reason for this attack, but maybe have a shave and a bit of a beard trim.
How dare you insult me by this? You have no right to be out here in space. The Klingon Empire will rise again and stop negotiating with you, Federation Patach.
That's very kind of you. You still haven't answered my question. Maybe if I sent you over a pack of lozenges, might help the throat there, and you could tell me again, why did you attack our ship?
With these insults, you shall never know. And he cuts communications.
Okay, let's see if we can shake about a bit. We have him in our tractor beam. Maybe if we go for a little run, might give him a little bit of a shake up, and he might be a little bit more willing to talk. I think the next stage here would maybe for engineering to repair the damage to the engine so that we have full power.
All right, so you've one more action. So what are you doing?
So Morgan, if you want to use your minor action,
Yeah.
you can repair the engine.
Repair the engines. Can I also just throw out a suggestion there, Captain? Just if we should report this maybe to the Federation of Starfleet and also to the Klingon High Command. I know it won't get through in time, but I think they need to know before this becomes all-out war between us and the Klingons, if it could escalate to that.
Definitely before his hair grows anymore.
Right. What am I rolling for there?
Oh, it's just a minor action. You're good.
Oh,
So
right. you're able to do it. It's just part of your thing. So that's your minor action. So any more major actions to happen?
Frank, do you want to gun the engines and get us going, pull him along, and take him for a bit of a spin?
I think so. Yeah. Let him know just how well we have him trapped. So let's have a look. Drawing dice for that. That would be control, I take it, and what else?
Control and con.
It's what?
Control and con.
Control and con. Okay. Let me have a look. So 14.
How many momentum do you have left, Robbie?
5.
5. Yeah, that's what I got. Cool.
So I have to throw a dice of less than 14, all right? Just
Yep.
remind me of that.
Difficulty
Right,
1.
Yeah, so put into your thing there, Frank, target number less than 14.
Less than 14, yeah. Okay. Grab that.
And it's assisted by structure and con for the ship, which is 8.
Alrighty, let's see how we do.
One success. You should be rolling to 0. Okay, so you get one success there, Frank.
All right.
Well, it's difficulty 1 task, so
Frank, you
technically...
should have rolled 2 dice. Roll another dice, Frank.
Oh yeah, so roll 2. All right, here we go again.
2 successes and a critical success. A critical 1.
Excellent.
So we get 1 more momentum because we're already at 5, and the max you can have is 6.
All right.
So I'm going to take it that like early in the game last week where I got thrown around the ship a little bit and a bit banged up, he just got a taste of his own medicine.
Yep, pretty much. You can imagine him screaming on the "Ah! How dare you! How dare you treat me like this!"
On an inverted bird of prey above our saucer section, just going, "Wee!"
Or flapping around behind us.
Everybody on their bridge just got slammed backwards in their seats or off their feet if they're standing at their controls. Right. Okay. So Frank, you haven't stopped moving since the last time, but as he flew over you and rotated in, you catch him and he's about to fire on you, but you launch a tractor beam and then just accelerate and pull him with you. So he's alrighty. So you're pulling them away. So we will for that action. It'll make things a little bit more difficult for him on his maneuvering. So that goes back to the Klingon. So he is obviously he's enraged now, and you see that you read, Robbie, on your tactical systems that there's a massive buildup in energy in his wing cannons. And because you got him in the tractor beam, you're in his perfect range. Which is close.
Going to use our momentum to create a complication for him.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 2 of our momentum.
2 momentum.
Which creates a complication.
Okay, copy that.
The complication is completely down to you, my friend.
Yeah, the complication did it. All right, so so he's going to roll, and he's going to spend his momentum. So he's
It increases the enemy task, the difficulty of the enemy task by 1. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So you spent 2. So is that increasing it by 2?
No, it increases it by 1. The
Right.
maximum I can do it is 3 times using all 6 of our momentum.
Right. Okay. So that increases the difficulty for him by 1. All right. So that's fine. And he's going to spend. I'm going to spend threat so that he can roll more dice. As I built up a whole heap of threats. So
how many?
I'm spending 3 threat.
So rolling an additional 2 die.
Extra 2 die. All right.
Cool. In that case, I'm spending 2 more momentum to increase the difficulty once more.
Okay, this is the 4. Right. Okay. All right. So Robbie's really kind of going, "Fuck you."
Oh, I'm sending pink sparkles down the tractor beam and everything now. It's just
What is it? Andrew Brannigan said, "Prepare the triple boarding parties." Okay, so I am rolling. I'm rolling my 4 dice, and my difficulty has increased. So, it's 12. Okay, 12 and 12. Boom. That is okay. That's 2 successes. 4 successes.
Oh, he hits.
So I think he hits because he's gone over the scale. Right. So now he rolls for damage.
Why am I standing at the engineering console?
He's rolling for damage.
Big head flung across the bridge.
So with the Klingon disruptor cannons on the wings, it's an energy weapon. It's close range, which we're at. It's 7d6, and it's got it's vicious. Its results are vicious. So you just look up vicious there for me quickly, Robbie. Vicious is vicious down here. So anyway, yeah, just you can look up vicious for me, Robbie, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 2 effects, 2 hits. Roll 3 more dice. 2 effects, 2 hits. 3 hits, 3 effects. Okay.
So you dealt 5 effect dice.
Yes.
So you're dealing an additional 5 damage on top of whatever you've rolled. So for anyone who's not aware, the damage dice in Star Trek Adventures are just a normal D6 dice, except you have one side is blank for no damage, one side is 1 damage, one side is 2 damage, and then you have the delta, which is 2 damage plus an effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you've rolled 5 effects, John, it's an extra 5 damage on top of.
So that's 3. So take the 3 hits away because it's a scale 3 and the resistance is 3.
Let's look at the total first. So you have 10 damage just from the effects.
Mm-hmm.
And how many other
So it's
damage?
3 hits.
3 singles or 3 doubles?
It was a double and a single.
So 3 damage plus the 5 deltas is 13 damage, minus the 3 of our resistance brings it to 10 damage.
Yep. So
How much could our shields absorb on that?
you can absorb 10 the shields, so you're all the way down to you're on 0. So he's knocked the shields are offline,
which means we suffer 1 immediate breach.
And on a 5+ damage after resistance reduction, it's a breach as well. So it is 2 breaches.
Okie dokie. D20, I think, for deciding which system is damaged.
Yeah. So that is engines. Oh, dearie me. So 3 breaches on the engines. So engines are losing power. Complications are 18 to 20. Cannot generate any more power. So you've lost 3 power already. Sorry, 2 power already to lose another power. So you're down to 6 power. The complication range for is now 18 to 20 for anything to do with Frank flying the ship. And anybody who wants to try and repair that, it's a difficulty of 4 this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 4 successes to repair the engines. So every round now you'll lose 1 more power. So as we go into the next round, you'll be down to 5 power. And just to warn everybody, if the engines take another hit, the system is destroyed and you'll enter a warp core breach.
Clumsy.
All right. So at the back, Morgan, you're at the console and you're shouting at Frank, going, engines. What are we? Yeah, engines disabled. We're very close to a warp core breach. We can't take another hit like that, Captain.
All right, well, let's disable the tractor beam and divert all power to repairing the engines.
Cool. Tractor beam's off. It's a minor action.
I still haven't done my my other actions. I've 2 more actions, don't I?
Yes,
I do. Right. Okay. So you as you release him from the tractor beam, and the ship is you're shaking, and he like you pull away, and he kind of backs off a bit because he's been using drift. So you guys have engaged the engines. He's still drifting, but now he re-engages into engines, and he kind of pulls off a little bit. But as he pulls off, he's going to launch a torpedo at you. that he's prepped. And so
okay, so you need to roll. I take it for evasive maneuvers.
We can't. We have no engines.
Your engines are disabled.
Yeah, that's a pain.
Does that include the RTS thrusters, though? Could we
You do have thruster control, but all power comes from the warp core.
Right now we have 6 power. We have 6 actions basically that we can take.
Just gonna pull out.
Think of it as main power being offline. We're on auxiliary power we're on auxiliary batteries.
Yeah, so that'll be something that Frank should call out there to Morgan. Reroute power to auxiliary systems.
Take it as routed, or shouted, I should say. Reroute power, please, Morgan.
Well, again, it's still the enemy's turn, so we can't do nothing yet.
Right, so so he's going to fire his torpedoes, and let me go back to my quick cheat sheet that I wrote up last night. So difficulty to fire torpedoes is 3, unlike phasers and energy weapons, which is difficulty of 2, and it's you've given me a complication. Oh no, so the distractor beam has been disabled, so that complication has disappeared. And he's going to so I'm going to hit that, and we'll see what happens. So
technically the tractor beam is still on, John, because it's not our turn. We can't take any action.
Okay, so we'll keep that difficulty there. Okay, so it's difficulty 4 for him, and he is going to do control security, which is 12. So he's spending I'm spending threat, so I have no threat left. Oh no, sorry. You
have 4 threat at the moment.
I have 4 threat. So I am going to spend 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend 3 threat. So I can roll my maximum of 5 dice.
Yay!
All right, and I need to get 4 successes. I'm just rolling for the Klingon right now, and then I have to roll for the ship. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and roll 1 more. 4, 6. So he gets 4 difficulties.
Again, we damage dice.
So he got 1 complication there. And then this is a torpedo. Its range is long and it's high yield. Okay, so there's 5 die on this. Okay, so we have, Robbie, just note this down: two deltas and a hit.
So 2 effects and 1 damage. So that is 2 damage goes over.
So you've got 2 hits and 2 deltas.
Cool. So 2 effects. The high yield effect, I can't remember it exactly. Bear with me a second.
It's all very tense here. I think this is. I think that's Andrew Brannigan. Is that Andrew Brannigan? Yeah, it's Andrew Brannigan.
Okay, so the effect of the high yield is if it inflicts 1 or more breaches to a system, it's going to inflict an additional breach.
Oh dear! Oh dear! So we're rolling for the system.
So we have a total of 2 damage, 2 effects, which is 4 damage.
Yep.
And 1 additional damage. So we have 5 damage.
So we've definitely got a breach.
But which system?
Yeah. Please not the engines. That's just leave them alone. They're out of bounds.
Structural integrity takes a hit.
So, structural integrity takes 4 breaches.
Oh shit! Structure. Oh my! Oh dear, really?
Yep.
Really? Oh, okay.
That thing nearly sheared off in a cell pylon while scraping across the top hull before blowing off one of the front fin tails.
Oh dear me! So structural so that's massive structural integrity. According to what I read last night, 4+ breaches in one system equals that system is destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a whole breach.
There's a whole breach.
We have a hole in
You're gonna have to tell me. You're gonna have to tell me why the ship doesn't explode right now, Robert.
There's more hole than there is ship left. Isn't
You're gonna really have to argue the point why the ship doesn't explode right now, because the shields are offline. We started with shields of 0, so and he got a hit, so that was a breach. So there's 4 breaches on the structural integrity plus an extra breach that I didn't put anywhere.
Oh, this is why you don't want to take a direct high yield torpedo hit when you have no shields.
Sorry, Nikki.
So, lesson to the crew that takes over after us: make sure you have shields.
I would say the lesson here is as soon as you get on the bridge, doesn't matter if you've got a broken leg, a broken wrist, you run over to the console and you fly away. Fly away, quick!
This is a great moment for Monty Python and the Holy
Run
Grail. Run away! And you can have like a Klingon ship in the shape of a rabbit coming after you.
Goes straight for the throat as well, doesn't it?
Bravely, Cuchulain, she bravely ran away.
To the sound of coconuts.
All right, have you found it yet, Rob? No.
No, hang on.
You doing it? Let me see if I can do it here. If I run through here,
You know that the GM can kind of bend the rules if needs be too.
I know the GM can bend the rules.
Yeah, but we don't fudge like that.
I'm well aware of what the GM can do.
Okay, Star Trek Adventures. Okie dokie. 4
It basically
breaches.
says you did what?
Pretty much.
Oh dear.
Okay, so the ship is crippled with major fires, hull breaches, and failing life support. The ship resistance is now 0.
Mm-hmm.
Tasks to repair the ship can no longer be attempted in combat. Ships may not move except for thrusters. And any further damage to the structure affects our engines.
Okay.
What engines?
We are adrift and on fire, and the next hit is going to lead to a warp core breach.
So the Klingon, he's because you managed to I'm loving all the comments from everybody.
The crew is trying to kill us now.
So what's going on is so the Klingon, so because you had the tractor beam was affecting the Klingon, he only managed to get 2 actions out of his 3 for his scale. So we're going to go back to you guys while you've been working away in the background.
Oh, there goes Morgan just straight across the bridge. Share out my screen there, John.
Sharing your screen.
Morgan, just move your token from here to here.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do that.
Whoa!
There we go.
Yeah.
We're all going to die!
And it's so Star Trek, there's not a scratch on him.
Can you rotate him upside down, John?
Oh God.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
So as we return to the bridge of the Cuchulain, the Klingon, because he was distracted with the tractor beam, he's fired off his cannons. He's managed to you were dragging him along, but a high yield torpedo has knocked you all senseless. So he's now flying off. He's going to come around for another pass for the kill shot. We cut back and Morgan stands on his head and screams. But in all reality, between myself and Morgan, you've been rerouting power and talking to Spec Ops and making a tunnel through the communications. So the entire crew who are, can't do anything because they're just out of phase with the ship systems, but they can watch. So all the monitors across the whole ship are active with what's going on the bridge. So everybody can see what you're doing. This is what's going on. So every now and again, you can hear comments across the comm system. So there's plenty of suggestions from the crew going, "What are you doing? You had one job." So okay, Mrs. O says Sunday roast. So, okay, so while the ship's been attacked, Mrs. O has decided to, head down to the galley and start cooking dinner. Because no ship.
There's some nice fires to cook some stuff on.
She might not have to go to the galley. She just go out in the corridor and cook it. So Patrick's going fire the warp core at him.
Yeah.
Speaking of firing. Oh, I'm throwing phasers right down his tailpipe.
Right,
Do we have power to the phasers? Is there anything I can do on the...
So if you want to do that, so what you can do is don't forget that he's drifting aft of you because you were towing him. And he's just fired. He's forward weapons at you. So you're still facing... Torpedoes are still facing away.
Oh no, I'm going phasers right into... Ooh.
Excuse me.
You know what? Phasers right into his weapons.
Okay, so...
I'm going to try to take out his targeting control and just make him useless.
I'm going to make a suggestion, and you and Frank want to work together so that you can try something similar and try and do a 180 in situ, which would be for Frank, but it would be a difficulty of 4 to see if you can bring all weapons to bear, and then you'll have 2 more actions left, and then you can spend power to try and fire all weapons.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. Yeah, Frank, do you want to take us through 180? It's going to increase the difficulty by a couple, but I can sort that.
All right, let's have a look.
This is a time to be spending determination, looking at your focuses.
Oh, trust me.
Any specials that you have now is the time to be going. What does that do?
So
I have a focus on linguistics. Maybe I can try and speak to him in Klingon and reason with him not to fire on us again.
I also have diplomacy. I should have mentioned that.
Here's the thing. I have aggressive negotiations, so I'm going to speak to him diplomatically in Klingon.
So you're taking the linguistics and the thing into yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to him very clearly in Klingon.
Anne Grace makes a good point. Is he not affected by the proximity blast from the torpedoes? Yes, he is. However, he still has shields.
We'll see about that.
He still has 80% of his shield.
Yeah, but we have 3 actions, and the problem is we have no ability to repair everything. We can't repair while we're in a combat situation, so unless he stands down, guys, I'm going to ask to take all 3 actions and just blow him out of the sky.
Could I do something with the warp core to stabilize it at least?
We have no ability to repair.
You can't repair
anything. No.
The ship is literally adrift.
So my engineering screen is just blinky at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be blinky, but it would be. You're trying to keep the ship together. You're trying to keep the ship going as much as possible. It's not like you're just standing there going, right, well, I can't do anything. Nah. See what you turn around, you rest against the back of the console, you're like, right, let's see what you guys do, yeah?
Okay, so Frank is increasing my difficulty to 4 by flipping us through 180.
Yep. Frank has to roll for that as well, though.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
That'll be one of your actions, Robbie, I'm afraid.
Cool.
So I've got to roll 2.
I'm gonna say it's an attack pattern. So it'll be daring and con.
What's better for you, Frank? What's better, daring or control?
Let me have a look.
Where's your oh, where is it?
Not much of a difference. Control is 10, daring is 9. So
I do control then.
I'm gonna say, Frank, making an attack pattern because it will make my life easier.
okay.
Okay, what attack pattern is it, Robbie or Frank? Give me an attack pattern.
Okay, attack pattern Delta.
Attack pattern Delta.
Yeah. So, daring and con with a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
And you're assisted by the ship's weapons and con.
The crew's got your back, Frank. We're all cheering you over the comms.
8.
Here we go. Are we ready? Do you think spend a momentum, maybe roll 3, or are we happy with 2?
As far as I know, we don't have any momentum.
We have
okay.
2 No, we do. We have 2 momentum. So, yeah, Frank, I'm going to back you up on that and spend a momentum to get an extra die. So you roll 3 and the ship is going to roll 1.
I actually have a cautious con as well. Is there any way I could help with that?
You could. Well, it's either Morgan does the assist or the ship does the assist. Which one do you want to do?
I would nearly go with the ship. My con value is quite low, but I do have a cautious con talent.
So the ship's its engines and con. So the ship is 11.
Because it's an attack pattern. It's weapons and con, so it's 10.
Okay.
But
10. So what would your assist be, Morgan?
What's cautious con? I'd say the ship is probably better, to be honest now.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, sorry.
You turn around from the console and go, I could do you do what you're doing, Frank. You do you, man. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We'll go for the roll. Roll 3.
1 success. Well, oh dear.
okay, hope the ship gets it.
1 success.
Okay.
No successes. It doesn't work. So, Robbie, you're facing the wrong way. You've just got access to phasers.
Cool. I'm going to use firing pattern Boimer.
And Robbie, by the way, that was a critical on the ship there.
Oh, bugger, we have a complication, don't
We have
we?
a complication. So Frank has now just blown the thrusters. So
We're literally adrift.
Increase your difficulty to hit him by 1, simply because Frank used the last of the power, blew it, and you might have to switch over to manual targeting.
Cool, we have 5 power left. Okay, this is going to be fun. Right. Here we go. So, spending a momentum for an extra dice.
Okay.
Which gives me a total of 3 to roll. Adding 2 threat for 4.
Mm-hmm.
And adding 2 more threat for 5.
So how many threat are you giving me?
The scalable threat cost for 3 dice, basically.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Oh, we need the dice.
Yeah.
Thank you. 6 threat.
So, fire weapons. These are Cuchulain phasers, which are versatile 2, and they have a spread pattern. So,
oh dear, there's something I forgot to do.
what's that?
I might just before there's something I forgot to do. Give me a sec. You're fine. That's okay. On structural damage, I roll a d6, and on an effect, one of you gets injured. So you're okay though.
Right.
Frank, Alan O'Shea is screaming at you.
Okay, this is good. 4 successes
4 successes.
from me.
Hey.
And the ship gives weapons and security, which is weapons 8, security 2, which is 10. Boop.
You got 5 successes there, Robbie.
So, the difficulty of the attack was increased by 1, John, you said?
Yeah, it was up to 4, wasn't it?
Well,
Phasers are 2 basic.
phasers are 2, so difficulty was increased by 1, which is 3. That gives me 2 over.
Yeah, but then he fucked up the delta. So that was 4 difficulty.
Okay. So we get 1 momentum off that. I know 5 successes of 4 difficulty. So one momentum.
So you got 4 successes plus a 1. So that's 5 successes from you. Then the
Yep.
ship rolled a 1 success, which is 2 successes. So you got 6.
Yeah. Cool. So damage.
Gosh.
It's 5d6.
5d6. Yep.
Ah, 3 effects.
3 effects. Okay.
Nice.
So, and 2 damage die. Just no fobs. No fobs.
Yeah.
So that is a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 damage
8 damage.
with
Right.
3 effects. Hang on one sec. It's the versatile and spread. Sorry, one sec, guys.
Yep. Area spread. Yep. Does area just means that if there's a ship nearby, it gets hit.
Yes, but what does versatile do for me?
Versatile. All right. So well, what we're looking at right now is his shields are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8 damage, and he's got a resistance of 3, I think.
3. So it's 5 damage. Those 5 damage go off his shields.
Sweet as.
So, 5 damage. He's got a breach. And
And the attack grants 1 point of bonus momentum if successful per effect die.
how
So
many effects die did you do?
3. Now,
So you got 3 momentum.
bonus momentum. They're different to actual momentum. I can't save them into the group pool.
Right. Separate.
So, what I'm going to do with my bonus momentum is I'm going to spend 2 of them
Yeah.
to create a complication for him,
Rightio.
whatever that is. It increases his next attack difficulty by 1.
Mhm.
And I'm going to... No, actually, I'm going to spend 2 of them to keep the initiative. I'm going to spend 2 of my bonus momentum to keep the initiative. So instead of our 3 actions ending our turn,
Yeah.
it stays with us.
Okie dokie. All right.
Nice.
Well played, Robbie. Well played. Right. His shields, you've knocked his shields down to 20%. And his power is down to 2. So it's down to 5. And breach. Okay. So
We have 1 more action on this turn, and then we have 3 more actions after that.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. What's the
Lucky
status on his shields? Because the crew are after giving me an idea.
His shields are down to 20%.
We'd need his shields down. We have a resident xenobiologist with tribbles. If we could transport the tribbles across to the Klingon ship with the shields down.
Fire the triple cannon.
Pretty much.
Who's at sensors and internal systems?
I'm at engineering pack at the back of the bridge, so
I'm on ops.
You are, aren't you? Excellent. Hey, Antoinette. So one of the rules with Star Trek Adventures is I can't just take 2 actions. However, Antoinette, you do have an action that you can do, which is to regenerate our shields. So can you roll control and engineering?
Can you regen the shields because you're in such bad shape?
It's not repairing a system as such. It's regenerating the shields.
Okay.
Does that count as doing something with a computer? Because
That'd be
I have computer expertise.
would be engineering anyway. So
It's control and engineering.
yeah, control and engineering.
Control and engineering. 8 to 10.
Now,
People are on tender hooks out there. The crew are watching, kind of go, "What? Please save the ship."
it's normally a difficulty of 1, but because our shields are at 0, it's a difficulty of 2. You will be assisted by the ship, so you're getting 3 dice by default.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3 dice. Yeah. I'm
So
seeing if I
I'm
have
just going to
anything else.
roll. I'm just going to roll the structure and engineering roll now, which is 12. But this won't come into effect unless you roll at least 1 success.
Okay. And can I have a value of there's always an exit strategy. So I could use a determination to add an extra D20.
There you go.
Yeah, off you go.
So you can
So
spend a
roll 4, yeah?
determination.
Great.
You're rolling 3.
3, sorry. 3. Okay.
Who's that?
Roll.
Andrew Brannigan is going, Control Alt Delete, Control Alt Delete.
2 successes, you said?
Yeah, 2.
Okay. Before the outcome is determined, you can spend 2 momentum, or you can spend a momentum to regenerate an extra point of shields.
I think that would be a good idea, yeah.
We have 2 momentum. We can regenerate a total of 4 points of shields right now.
You've got
Okay,
4.
great.
You've got bonus momentum, and according to my thing here, you've got 1 momentum.
Yes. Sorry, knock that bonus momentum out because I can't save the bonus momentum to the pool.
So that's gone. So you've 1 momentum.
So we can get a total of 3 shields back.
Or you can give me more threat.
No, we can't spend threat for this. It's only momentum.
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Alrighty. So give me a rundown of what's happening. What have you just figured out?
We can get 3 points of shields back if you want to spend the momentum, Antoinette.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. So
3
you
shields.
rolled 2 successes. All right.
Yep.
So you got your 2 shields back.
3.
3 shields back. So shields are at 30%.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Structural
Okay.
integrity is a heap of shit, though.
Oh yeah, but at least like one shield generator starts sputtering to life. Just like it's not so much shields as emergency force fields are starting to come on.
All right. So it is the next round, right?
Yep, but it's our turn.
Somebody polarized the whole plating, for God's sake.
What's that, Frank?
Did somebody polarize the whole plating, for God's sake?
Yeah.
I would if we had any,
If you had a blade of pole armor and it was a warship, maybe.
or if we had any hull plating left.
Yeah.
Basically,
Uh,
just shields around the ship.
So
John?
by my records, your power is down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Power output is down to 4. All right. Now we go back into, because you've kept momentum. You're going back through. Yes, it is. Anne Grace is going. Is that more than the Klingon shields? It is more than the Klingon shields. Yes.
And
10% more.
we are gaming the ever living crap out of it just to try and get the best advantage we can here. John,
Yes.
take 1.
Take 1 what?
Take 3. Take 6.
Take 6 what? Threat. I don't have enough threat, Pogs.
It's okay. I show you having a total of 7.
No, hang on. I've already got 6, and you've just given me more.
Oh, then you've 12.
Right. Well, okay. 12. I 12 threat, mate. Fire all weapons.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much. I'm going to roll 5 dice for the attack, which is a difficulty 2.
You just got phasers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 5 dice for the phasers from me and 1 dice from the ship.
Okay. Yep. Fire everything.
Pretty much. And Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? No. No. That would be a very bad idea. Okay.
Robbie, talk us through it.
I have the option as a tactical officer to spend a point of power to increase the complication range by 1 and deal additional damage. However, it's not worth it because I've got the 5 dice. So
okay, you've only got 5 dice. Yeah.
So from moi, 2 complications, but 5 successes.
5 successes, 2 complications. All right.
And the ship rolls. It is weapons and security. So weapons is 8 and security is 2, 10.
Okay.
Okay, so 5 successes, which grants us 3 momentum.
Okay.
And John, what are my 2 complications?
Let me see here. You did it. You did a 20. 2 20s.
2 20s, 2 complications.
2 20s. That's like the worst complication ever. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, your console explodes.
Cool.
Roll the dog.
2d20 what? Daring and fitness or?
Yeah, daring and fitness.
Oh no, fitness and security or fitness and medicine?
Fitness and security.
Oh. 1 success.
You don't make it.
Okay.
You don't make it. So rolling for damage. Oh god, now I have to look up rolling for damage for the ship.
Well, before you do,
Yeah.
total of 5 damage with 1 effect.
Yep. Okay, so that is you don't do anything.
Well, 2 damage goes through his resistance, so his shield's reduced by 2.
His shields are offline.
Cool.
Okay, so his shields are offline, and
I'm taking damage.
and even effect. So and an effect on him. So which would be
Hang on, I'll tell you now what the versatile effect is again. The attack gains 1 point of bonus momentum, which I am going to spend immediately to increase the damage inflicted by a successful attack, regardless of the type of attack. Each momentum adds 1 damage, so he takes 1 breach.
He takes a breach. All right, I'm gonna roll for the breach. See where his breach is, and his breach is all right. He takes a breach in the sensors. Okay. Alrighty. Well done. Well, at least
roll damage for me, John.
rolling damage to you. So, unfortunately, now for a little bit of a quick delay, I have to look up. You can help me, Robbie. Look up injury.
Don't need to worry about injuries unless I take more than 5 stress.
Right. Okay. So, but I need to know what a console explosion will cause you.
Your choice. I would say 5d6.
A mini charge, basically.
Yeah.
Power charge. All right,
5d6 with a charge.
It's like a mini grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me.
Go on.
Oh, dear me. So what's your stress?
18.
Okay, well then you're all right. So take take 4 base damage.
4 stress.
4 stress, yeah. 4 stress. Cool. And 2 effects.
So 2 charge. Hang on 1 sec.
So I'm going to say one of those effects that you get there, Robbie, is that you are going to be blinded for the next round.
Cool.
So Robbie can't see for a round.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, Jillian, it's definitely.
What body part can Robbie afford to lose?
All of them.
Not his eyes at the moment.
Well, it's not like I need them because, like,
the console's gone, isn't it?
yep. Oh, I'm Tuvok right now. Computer, activate tactile interface.
That hasn't been invented yet.
Okay.
All right. So, how does it? Any look at those effects there, Robbie? Or we're just going to go with your blind?
Charge is basically just I take an additional stress.
Right. Okay. So, is it not too stress for a delta? No.
Yeah. So 2 damage for a delta. So what was the total you rolled?
So 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So you've 8 stress and you're blind.
8 stress. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I need to avoid an injury.
There you go. All right.
Does anybody have any medical in there?
Yes, me.
Great.
I think Frank's the field medic.
Cool.
Didn't we just get a transfer the other day of a Commander Jet Reno and a roll of duct tape? I mean, so we should be okay.
I have a focus on emergency medicine. Can I help him in any way?
You can, but you're going to have to make a minor action and leave your post.
You may not need to. If I can avoid the injury, we're good.
These comments are great.
Yeah, John, I'm going to use a point of determination to avoid the injury.
Copy that. All right, no worries.
Which means I have no determination. I have 1 determination left.
Right. So as you're sitting there at the console, you managed to fire off a spread of phasers. You've done quite well. You've knocked him down. You've given him he's got damage to his structural integrity. He's got his communications and his sensors are all are weakened. His shields are offline. His power has been reduced down. So you've done quite well considering the fact that the Cuchulain's in a heap itself. However, as you have been doing all of this, so much work through your console, Morgan manages to miss a buildup in one of the EPS power taps in your console, and it explodes. Just as it explodes, you manage to put your hands up to stop it doing anything massively like sending shards through your skull or something. Mm-hmm. And you do that Star Trek thing of, and you do slow motion bounce across the floor. So you're now on the floor behind your console. Your console's on fire,
and you guys all have 2 actions to fix.
I'm back on the floor again.
No, so, that's me. No, I'm on the floor. You're fine.
Robbie's on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the engineer
Robbie's console is on fire, but the fire suppression systems are not working. They're offline, like most of the ship. So you have a fire burning. You can roast some toast, some marshmallows or sausages. And Robbie, you're blind for the rest of this turn. And you guys. So now we've got Antoinette. What are you going to run across?
Yeah, I'll go across. Yeah, because since we don't have a fire suppression system, I'll use my minor action to go across to the station. I don't know. Do we have? Is there something as a fire extinguisher on the bridge?
There's a fire extinguisher in a hatch somewhere. But if you go for that, you can either go to Robbie or you can go for the fire extinguisher.
Do you still need help, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm gonna need help or Robbie collapsing in a heap by the end of the scene.
Okay, I'm gonna go help Robbie with my emergency medicine.
Okay, so, you're gonna help Robbie. Frank, you're sitting.
Go for the fire extinguisher. Yeah.
Okay, Frank goes for the fire extinguisher.
Antoinette.
Yes.
To administer first aid, it's a daring and medicine task, difficulty 1. But because of your focus in emergency medicine, John, are we leaving it as a difficulty 0 or reducing the complication range?
Because using the complications and the ship is in bits and the lights are off and there's a fire roasting everybody and the oxygen is reducing because the fire.
Right beside. Come on, guys! I'm getting hot here. Let's get going.
It's also everything's blinking. The ship is drifting like this through space. As there's a Klingon just outside, and he's got a weapons build up in his systems, and the only officer that's not crouched around the console that's on fire having a campfire singing Kumbaya is Morgan. So use Robbie to beat the flames.
Actually, Antoinette, sorry. Antoinette,
Yeah.
sorry, first aid is not necessarily appropriate for me because that requires me to be injured, which I'm not. I avoided the injury.
You avoided the injury. You're just blind, Robbie. You can get yourself up off the floor and shake it off. So,
I mean, is it more kind of dazed than blind? Is it like
pretty much? It's like a flash. It's like a flashbang went off. Yeah, it'll take me a couple of seconds to recover, but
he's on the floor going, "I'm okay, I'm all right." So as everyone kind of goes, "What's going on?" All right. So, but anyway, I'm going to take that as Antoinette used a minor action to run over to check on Robbie. We discover that he's fine, but Antoinette, you're now on the other side of the bridge, and you've used your minor action. Frank, you've also used the minor action and your major action to go and find the fire extinguisher. So you pull out the fire extinguisher. It's in your hand, but that those two, like movement and going to the locker and pulling it out, they're all little minor actions. So I'm going to say that you've done all your movement for this particular phase. So the only person who actually has anything to do. Robbie went
3 actions.
Antoinette she did her thing. Frank's done his thing. So it's back to the Klingon.
Yep.
All right. So chest hair roasting from a console. Who said that? Well done, Andrew.
Chest hair roasting from a console fire.
Love it.
Isolating chips blowing up my nose.
Right. Okay. So we're back to the Klingon. So he's got 0 shields. His power is down, but he's still going to fire. So he's all about the opening fire and shooting things. And where's my thing? Here we are. Okay, so control and security. Remind me what that was. It was 11. Control and security. No, 12. Okay, and all those 12 momentum that you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Those 12 threats that you gave me.
Yep.
So that'll be 2 dice for his initial. That'll be one there'll be one from the ship. So I need to go 1, 2.
Hey, John.
3. Yes.
So you know the way that this attack is going to cost him power?
Yes.
This attack is going to cost him 2 power.
Okay. He's still fine. He's got power. The engines are still fine. His engines are down. Yeah, his engines are still fine. He's all good. So
yes, but
huh?
It's just still going to cost him power.
Is this adventure going to all end up with just, I don't know, Shay sitting bolt upright in bed going like, my God, I just had a horrible dream that...
No, first once he stands in the shower.
Perhaps
that whole season was just a dream.
I have a disturbing feeling it's going to be a case of everything fades to black. The yellow grid lines come into focus. And John walks in going, "You killed us all. Well done."
Spoilers.
All right. So with all of his difficulties and successes and complications that are given him, Robbie, it was a base difficulty of 2, plus the damage that you've inflicted and his breaches, which brought it up to a difficulty of 4. So he's gotten exactly 4 with 1 complication.
How many threat did you spend?
I spent 6 threat.
Cool.
All right. So he's now rolling for damage with the disruptor cannons. Okay, which is 7 dice. We have. All right, you noting this down?
Yep.
3 deltas.
Mm-hmm.
2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 deltas and 2 damage.
8 damage, 10 damage total with 4 vicious effects.
Oh.
Our resistance is currently 0.
Resistance is 0. You've got 30% shields. Your shields,
which means 7 damage goes directly into causing breaches.
7. Okay. Yep.
So, John, just to give us a fighting chance, I'm going to roll 2d20.
Okay. For what?
Just to spread the damage out over the different subsystems.
Explain that one to me. Where's that come from?
Technically, each breach should be a separate d20 roll to see which one it's going into.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, the first one is a 20.
Right.
So that is going into our
Weapons.
So 1 breach to the weapons.
1 breach to the weapons.
Second one is going as a 10, which is putting that breach in
Structure integrity.
Oh dear.
Structural integrity is now down to 4. So right.
Structural integrity is gone.
Yeah.
Right. Structural integrity is offline. Okay.
A 1.
Communications.
An 18.
Weapons.
So 2 breaches in weapons, 1 in communications. 19.
Weapons.
3 breaches in weapons. They're
Weapons
disabled.
Destroyed and offline.
No, they're disabled.
Disabled, so you can't use them anyway.
Yeah. 4.
Engines. Warp core breach. We have a warp core breach in process. Keep going.
We have to jettison the core.
A 1.
A 1. Communications.
A 14.
Structural integrity.
A 10.
You've gone beyond your structural integrity, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
10. Structural integrity.
Right.
2 beyond structural integrity.
A 5.
A 5. Engines.
A 10.
Structural integrity.
And a 15.
Structural integrity.
Cool. Warp core breach rules come into effect.
Warp core breach. Warp core breach. Frank, I think you should be shouting something at the moment.
Hang on a sec.
I'm just standing there waiting to, put out the fire. I've been standing there with the fire extinguisher going, I think I'll just stand until it's my turn to put out the fire. It's getting hot here, but, what the hell, I'll just stand here. It's pointing at the flames like this going, is it my turn yet?
It looks like we're putting into space dock for a ship upgrade after all. That's probably Brannigan, is it? No, it's Alan O'Shea. Pray, Mr. Savick. The Klingons don't take prisoners. This is the reaction from the crew. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jettison the damn crew.
Never mind the warp core, it's the crew we need to get.
Warp core breach imminent. All right, so let me leave that on, Robbie, because this is what I'm going to read. I'll keep that going, right, Robbie, because it's going to be annoying. All right. If the ship suffers a loss in containment, then the reactors may explode at any moment. Roll 1 or more delta at the end of each round, or 1 or more of the dice, the delta dice, at the end of each round. So 2 delta for second round, 3 for third and fourth. If 1 or more effects are rolled, the reactors explode, destroying the ship immediately, killing all aboard and inflicting 3+ ship scale piercing damage to all other ships in close range. So you could roll that and see if you damage him as you go. This can, however, be avoided. Characters in the main engineering, you don't have any, may attempt to stabilize the reactor, or they may try and eject the reactor entirely, though not all ships have the capacity to eject the core. All right, so stabilize the reactor is an extended task, and blah, blah, blah. Eject the reactor. So that's what you've got. So Robbie, actually, the commanding officer is Frank. But Frank doesn't have any Delta die. So, Robbie, I think we're going to have to roll to see
if we all explode all of a sudden.
You want the D20 or the D6, John? D6?
The D6, yeah. D6.
Uno?
Uno, D6.
That's a Delta, man.
That's a Delta, isn't it?
That's a Delta.
That's a
Yeah, maybe that Delta maneuver wasn't the best idea after that.
Robbie, roll. Let me see here. Killing all board, inflicting 6 damage. So 6 damage to me, which means that I have no shields. I have no structural integrity. I take 3 breaches. Robbie, I'm going to say on the roll of a Delta, you take the Klingon with you.
Well, considering I rolled 4 Deltas.
Okay. You take the Klingon with you because there's a warp core breach.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay. So, well done. So let's just see what we got here.
Yay!
Frank, is there anything you'd like to say as you hear the warp core breach is imminent?
Yeah, Captain O'Shea, you can have your chair back now.
This is a good one, Patrick. For sale. No
That's brilliant.
damage. Destruction. Oh, warp core ejection, locking and clamps are fried. Frank, get down to engineering and push the core out. Everyone's filing for transfers as they blow up.
Oh.
All right, well done. So, as Robbie aptly predicted earlier on, fire engulfs you. Everything explodes. Alarms, klaxons are going off everywhere.
I'm just going to throw this out here,
in your
John.
consoles, and suddenly, huh?
One sec. Just for the lols, because it has to be done.
Uh-huh. Okay, hang on. Full screen that. This is you, Frank. This is you. Oh dear. Because the engines did get hit.
Up.
Oh,
Nobody watching, and just for the lols as well, simply because it happened. Let's see here. I'm going to go. Where's my windows? Yeah, I shall do this. All right, so
that was just a really fantastic demonstration of diplomatic communication there.
all right, so,
I say it was aggressive negotiation.
negotiations.
I negotiated so aggressively. I used the entirety of Starfleet's resources.
You had 2 linguists and a diplomat on your bridge, and you just shot him.
I communicated the only way the Klingons know how. I went to the Michael Burnham School of.
We went to exactly. I was going to say we were going to give him the Vulcan hello.
Yeah, that was a true Vulcan hello.
Yep.
All right, so as the ship begins to explode around you, as Robbie quite aptly predicted, the holodeck's yellow grid appears, and you hear that as the fire goes out first, the ship resets itself to what it normally looks like, and then as you realize what's happening, you all stand up so that you don't fall on your ass when your chair disappears. I was thinking briefly for a second to make you roll for that, but I was like, no, you just blew up the ship. The holodeck appears, and you're right. There's me standing there with a pad in my hand, and I'm like, well done, guys.
I think you should have a pad in your hand, and on it should say, "A Tale of Two Cities." Bye.
yeah. Message, Frank.
I managed to take him with him. That's all I managed to take him with us. That's all I'm saying.
So I walk up to the group of you and I say, all right, well, okay, well done. It wasn't exactly an easy situation to be in. However, the system was this particular mission, I suppose, was commissioned by Commodore O'Shea. As a science vessel, we tend to fly off and help people, but combat tactics tend to be something that we tend to leave behind with all the science roles that we have to do. So Commodore O'Shea felt that we needed to do some tactical maneuvers. However, he wanted people to not study or be ready for it. It's a test of who needs to study what for now. So that's why in the middle of the night last night, we beamed you all onto the holodeck without your knowledge and into a recreation of the Cuchulain and set this task against you. Your scores and evaluations will all be sent to you, and what you need to do and what you need to study. I would suggest that you all brush up on bridge operations and tactical maneuvers, and possibly a little bit of diplomacy. This type of situation will be something that will be happening to various members of the crew as we proceed forward on the Cuchulain. Now, if you would all like to adjourn to the conference room, the captain will see you there in 30 minutes. Okay.
I think I need to go to the gym as well.
So before you head to the conference room, which we're going to do for a brief few minutes before we have to end today, what do you say to each other? You're now actually on the ship. What's that, Frank?
I said we won't be saying an awful lot. We're dead. I just ignored everything you said about the holodeck and said, no, it was all real and we're dead.
So
I just want to be a lab.
So has anybody anything to say? Any analysis? Any personal reviews that they want to go through?
There's a reason I'm a ground pounder and not a bridge certified officer.
There's also a reason that nobody should leave me in charge of the engines. I'm a communications officer, right?
All right. So okay, you have a kind of brief exhalation of breath. The whole test was to keep you on the holodeck without telling you, was to give you that increased adrenaline and kind of the psychology of the life and death situation that you would actually face in that. So the idea of it being safe, that if the holodeck resets, that if the holodeck resets, you're not going to be harmed in any real way. So you'll take different chances. So that's the whole idea behind the thing. All right, so you go and tidy yourselves up, go to the toilet. Morgan hits the gym for 5 minutes, and you make your way up to the conference lounge, and you all file into the conference lounge. Commodore O'Shea is sitting at the top of the table. He's got your review pads. Obviously, everything is sent instantaneously to his pads, and he's been watching from the from the conference room, and or from his ready room, and he's now moved into the conference room. And you all file in. So, what do? You file into the room.
Stand to attention.
Listening to the DNG theme play in my head.
Where do you all go? So, let me see here. We have.
To be honest with you, John, I'm not trying to butt in there, John, but I think that is pretty much a nice scene to just wrap the episode on.
No, you're right. I'm just doing the continuation. So
yeah.
So just pop up your thing there, Robbie.
Oh God, where's my Roll20 screen gone? There you are. So many tabs. Open.
All right. So, yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. No. So, sorry, I have to move you, don't I? So you all
Yes.
go to the conference lounge. All right. So I'm not going to load in your characters because we're going to finish in the next couple of minutes. But there you go. So there's an image of the conference lounge. So that's where you all are. You all file in, and you see Commodore O'Shea is sitting at the top of the table. Do you guys sit down? Do you stand at the window? What do you do?
Though the safety protocols were on and technically not actually injured, I'm still half asleep. My ears are ringing. Because knowing you the way I know you, John, you would have done this at like 2 a.m., like 3 hours after I'd gone to bed to try and amp the stress up that much more. So I'm just going to pull a chair out, slump in it, and just go... His sonic shower is getting reconfigured to spray mud.
So I come in with you, and Frank takes a seat to the right of the captain. I take a seat to the left of the captain. Robbie takes the next seat down. The two junior officers sit down as well. And Commodore O'Shea just looks at you and goes, "Well done. We're not exactly a combat vessel. We are a team of scientists, and we are an overcrowded vessel. We don't tend to do these things, and that's exactly why I wanted to initiate these tactical initiations or initiatives. So, if you just sit down. So, I've just gotten a communique from Starfleet Command. We have just received a new. Officer, a new science officer. Her name is Lieutenant Flora Christopher. And along with the arrival of Lieutenant Christopher, we've been assigned a new mission to help Bajoran refugees with some soil reclamation. They've landed on planet Felina 2, and we are now en route to the second planet of the Felina system. The planet is almost completely barren. They've created a small settlement around a landing zone where their transport came down, and the immediate area has the smallest amount of arable land. So it's our job to help increase their crop yield before the winter comes to that particular area of the planet, and we need to multiply their crop yield by at least a factor of 4. So Lieutenant Christopher, she's come across from the USS Al-Batani, and she's just left her position as Chief Science Officer to help with this agricultural reclamation and terraforming project. Reports from Starfleet say that when the transport came down, and transport is being kind, it's more like a space bus. It came down hard. She'll never fly again. The Bajorans, however, have managed to make the best of their situation and jury-rigged their warp core from the transport for power and heat. Currently have one barely functioning replicator. So I've been offered to offer relocation services if they wish. However, we have to request another ship. We'd have to request another ship from Starfleet. We're just too overburdened with crew members on here. We barely have enough space for our own crew. However, it is from this particular problem. One of our devices we've developed in Spec Ops could help the Bajorans. The now infamous to you guys interphasic generator we built allows us to phase to other areas and phase sideways to an adjacent pocket universe. And we've managed to keep up to 4 interphasic areas stable until your holodeck accident. We mostly use it for sleeping quarters and crew areas, but it could be a good option for the Bajorans if they don't want to leave the planet. The planet has a heavily ionized atmosphere. One of the reasons the Cardassians' long-range scans in the area haven't been able to detect them. Indications are the Bajoran like the idea of the safety barrier, a gift from the prophets, as they say. This also causes havoc with sensors and transporters, so the Puka are on standby to take the Wave Rider and the shuttles down to the surface. Communications is only possible via a small relay beacon that Bajorans launched before hitting the atmosphere. They only activate it periodically to avoid being detected. It was lucky that the distress call was picked up by one of the patrols near Cardassian space. It's currently a lull in the war in the Cardassian war in the area, but we can never be too careful. Commander East will pilot the Wave Rider, our largest support vessel, through the atmosphere, while the away team takes the duplicate interphasic generator. Once he drops off, he'll take the Wave Rider on a survey mission in the surface or in the atmosphere of the planet to see if we can find a better location for the Bajorans to stay. So that will be our next mission, which hopefully will be in 2 weeks if everybody is amenable. All right. So anybody else, the guys who have kept with us, which was great fun. Thank you to everybody who kept watching with us today. The last few comments online, as if this was the Mirror Universe reviews would be conducted in the agony booth. Thanks, Jerry. Frank has said to everybody else, Romulan ale for me, thanks. It would have shot a story in brandy. Patrick goes, come back, Michael Burnham, all is forgiven.
Patrick, I like to think of myself as a mix between Shax and Burnham. So, it's just...
we're all exiling. Where are you exiling, Nikki? I missed that previous comment.
They're exiling us.
They're exiling us.
Right, okay.
We're just getting sent off to this Bajoran thing to get us out of the ship so that we don't blow it up.
You are now the away team for the next planet landing, just to get us off the ship for a while.
Decks, eh?
Who's that? Is that Brannigan?
That's Brannigan again.
Yeah, that's Brannigan. Okay, and finally, Patrick. And you guys get to paint the new ship we're sending. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That was episode 2 of Star Trek Cuchulain. 2 weeks' time, we shall do Star Trek Cuchulain episode 3, where we shall start our kind of official campaign elements and our longer running ship. I hope we all enjoyed us learning the rules of Star Trek adventures and how to fire on ships and damage and how to blow up your own ship. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John. We've been joined today by Antoinette, Morgan, Robbie, and Frank. Look out next week or in midweek for Anne Grace and the Cuchulain's Q Forward and Q Forward on the weekends. And look out next week for Frank's EXO chat. So all that done. Anyone else? Anything last to say?
Nope. All good.
Next week's.
Next week's.
I was just going to say next week's EXO's chat will be actually about gaming, various different aspects of it. So, if any gamers out there who want to join that, do let me know, and I'll put up the actual link for that soon.
Okay, so check out the Cuchulain's Facebook page for links and announcements of times and dates for exact broadcasts. Okay, take care, everybody. That's the end of it. Good luck. Bye.
Thanks, up.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
And I think